I think Mother's Day honors like every aunt that stepped up, every grandma that stepped up, mothers that have, and there's all the thank yous. But then when you're the mom, but you don't have the child to show for it, it is, for me personally, it almost felt like I didn't count. You know, I'd been through it, I gave birth, but I didn't count. So now that there's this International Day for people that have experienced it with me, you're not as alone, and you're with a group of women that say, yeah, you count, you're absolutely just the same as everybody else. Mm-hmm. So it feels a lot less lonely. I was 36 and a half weeks pregnant. He was supposed to be like a New Year's baby, and you know, it was the millennium, and everybody was like, who's gonna have that baby? And my husband and I we weren't married yet, and he still lived in his place and I had my place, and I woke up on December 8th and something just wasn't right. So I phoned my mom and I told her that I didn't feel right, something wasn't right, and she, you know, no, don't worry about it, you're probably gonna have the baby anytime. You came over and washed my floors, you're nesting. This is what it's like. You're gonna have the baby today or tomorrow, I bet you any money. And I decided, you know what, something isn't right. I know it, it's been bothering me all day, and woman's intuition is hardly ever wrong. So during my pregnancy, my baby didn't like me sleeping on my left side, and I couldn't drink any pop because he was just bing, 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 bing. So I did both. I drank a bunch of pop and I laid on my left side for about half an hour, and I didn't feel any kicking. And I knew. So my GP was actually a good personal friend as well. We'd worked together in the ER for many years. So I phoned him at home and he agreed to meet me into the emergency department. And we got a Doppler machine and there was no heartbeat. So, you know, it was confirmed, but not officially, because that's just hearing for the heartbeat. It's not an ultrasound. So he got me in a wheelchair and he literally ran me up to labor and birth. And Dr. Cardoso came into the room and did a quick ultrasound, and I remember just looking to my left and seeing his hand floating, and then I just didn't want to look, because for 9 months there you are planning your life, and you know what that moment of it's a boy or it's a girl is going to be like, and coming home from the hospital and showing my child off to my parents, high school grad, like that. 3 words, there's no heartbeat. I remember saying to my sister that I didn't want to be that woman that was 10, 12 years later still grieving. And here I am, 20 years later. And it's gotten easier to deal with it. It's never gotten better, it's just gotten easier. Some things will just set me off for no reason, that he'll be on my mind heavy all day. The anniversary of his birth and death, December 9th, is always horrible. So I've never worked that day. Instead, when I had my second and my third child, we've turned it into more of a celebration instead of something to be sad about. My husband has said that he notices that, you know, the 2 weeks leading up to it, you know, I'm quick-tempered, I don't have a lot of patience, I'm very sad and morose, and, you know, up until the morning of December 10th, and then December 10th comes along and I'm ready to, you know, go forward with Christmas, and I've had my moment, and then I'm mostly good until Mother's Day.